Okay, good evening, friends. Welcome to another interesting session as a part of this International Diploma in Higher Education, the leadership. And we are very fortunate to have Professor Bikas Sanyal once again with us, who will be discussing about the finances in higher education. You all are welcome. And Professor Sanyal does not need more introduction now. We all have been listening to him already, and I think we can just begin. And please keep making notes of the important points which he shares with us so that you can ask your questions. You are free to type them into the chat box or write on your pen paper with you, and later on you can unmute yourself and can ask. So, sir, thank you very much. Good evening to everyone, and we are happy to have you once more with us. So may I request you now to kindly share your expertise, and if there is any PPT with you, then you can share screen, and if that is too difficult, you can get it sent to me. I can launch that presentation from here.
I can start right now, but I have got a few years to speak to the policies in general.
Okay.
All my lectures
sure.
will be sent, the papers, the text and the lecture that I am giving to PowerPoints will be sent to the organizers, including Dr. Sharma and Mohan Sharma, and also others like Bill and others who emails and people. They will all get my all the details, the text and the paper, and with the PowerPoints in the day today. And I shall skip, I cannot go direct to the PowerPoints, but I shall only make summary of the points so that I can finish it in time.
Sanyal sir, we are not getting your voice properly.
Sir, can you switch your microphone little near to the mouth? It is near below chin, little up.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Better? Much better, yes.
Can you hear me better?
Ji, much better.
Much better. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I repeat what I said, that I shall, whatever I am telling you today will be all given you in the detailed texts through email to all the participants through the office of Dr. G.D. Sharma and collaborators. Everybody will get it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, let's start. You know, the problem that we are discussing today, mainly, yes, it's the, okay, where are you? Okay, all right. Okay, I don't know the last page. Okay, now we're talking. We have two challenges of mobilizing funds for public and private higher education. Challenges for mobilizing funds for public and private higher education. This is the most important thing. Without money, you cannot do anything. So this is the challenges that we are discussing today. So, we're talking about the vision for education in the national education policy. I have taken them from the national education policy. Can you hear me all right now? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now it's
we have our vision, long term, and India-centered education that can contribute directly to transforming our national sustainability into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high-quality education for all. For higher education to contribute its own share, we will face the following challenges according to the educational policy. The thing is that this is the vision. Now, from their vision, we shall come to the mission and then the objectives of the programs, okay? Now, what we are seeing now at the moment, what are the challenges for that? Our higher education system is very much fragmented. Too many institutions, too low enrollment. There are too many barriers, too much early specialization. There is lack of access, especially to socio-economically disadvantaged groups and areas. Lack of teacher and institutional autonomy. There is not adequate mechanism for career management and progression of faculty and institutional leaders. The lack of research at most universities and colleges. And lack of transparency and competitive peer-reviewed research funding across disciplines. And the governance is suboptimal. The leadership of higher education institutions is also suboptimal. We don't have a regulatory system allowing fake colleges to thrive while constantly excellent innovative institutions. A lot of fake colleges are coming up when we are massifying our higher education system. This is the challenges that we're facing, and we have to face them in describing our mission and others. The challenge now, the challenge that's coming from crisis in the well-being of Indian population. You will find very interesting things here. You know, the 2019 UNDP study shows that India, unfortunately, stands only at the score of 130 out of 189 countries. There are 129 countries above us. We are so below. We are even worse than Bangladesh and Pakistan, and you know it hurts us. And Bangladesh and Pakistan, it really hurts us. You know. The human development, a long and healthy life, which means long and healthy life, access to knowledge and decent standard of living. Percent of India AGI value, human development index value is lost on account of inequalities. This confirms that inequality remains a challenge for India. Remember, inequality remains a challenge for India, even now. An important element missing from the AGI, the human development index.
Sir, again, we are not able to listen you properly. Please adjust your mic properly.
Oh, okay. Thank you for reminding. Tell me, are you all right? Okay now? Can you?
Yes, sir. Right now it's okay. Fine.
An important, please remind us because I have somebody to help me. An important element missing from the AGI, the Human Development Indicator, is the dismal situation of hunger in India, with worse scores 30.3 than Bangladesh, can you believe? And Nepal and Pakistan. My dear friends, we must not be, we must be taking it seriously. We must think about it. Where are we now? Where are we going? Now, then the challenge is from economic crisis. The latest data released by the Commerce and Industry Ministry, released on 31st October 2019, showed that industrial production, having extra 40% of GDP, will grew only 1.3% during the first half of 2019 and 2020, and is trending towards a negative growth rate. What is this situation? This is leading to heavy retrenchment and genetic unemployment in general and graduates in particular, and into social crisis. Belying the promises of the government in respect to unemployment, in general, we have three different estimates of employed the national labor market. The database and the methodology needs to be improved. The different estimates are prepared by government and other agencies, and they are given three different methods which are to be coordinated well. A direct result from the economic crisis is the financial crisis, which is the transformation of higher education. Insufficiency of allocation of funds from the state has been elaborated by our colleague, Dr. Ansari. You know, he wrote a paper in College Post in September issue, giving the details of the insufficiency of allocation of funds from the state. The challenge to face the financial crisis then is to mobilize funds from additional sources for transforming the public and private institutions of higher education. Am I all right now? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's okay. Okay.
Am I being too fast? Am I being too fast? I shall try to be a little bit slower because I speak so fast. Okay. Challenges from inadequate use of natural, physical, and human resources. You see, we have got three kinds of resources around us. Natural, which is given by God, whatever you can see, nature, by nature, and physical resources, all these places, buildings, and all these utilities, and human resources, which is our main concern. Facing these challenges adequately with the appropriate use of higher education, providing necessary skills, could reduce the economic crisis. If you can use, you see, we have tremendous amount of natural resources. We can use them if we can really. If you go to the literature, well, you can find out how much we have got underground resources, overground resources, and also resources on the space. So we have got now solar resources, solar energy, the cosmic energy, all that, and then also a lot of reserves underground. To address each of the above challenges, the role of higher education is obvious. Most important challenge, of course, is the mobilization of financial resources to transform higher education. Providing India-centered education which can contribute directly to transforming our nation sustainably into an adequate, equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing higher quality education for all. I shall explore such mobilization based on the experiences around the world below. You will get some experiences now. Again, I repeat that this paper will be given to you individually through the office. And if you have any questions or other things when you read this text, please let me know. I shall try to reply to all of them. But keep notes now, but remember that you will have the whole text later. And because I'm giving a lot of statistics and information from different countries of the world, so you will not get anywhere so easily. I have to work hard for all these documents. Please use them. Take advantage of my time given to your work. Now, my second point is mobilization of funds for private and public sector higher education. How do we mobilize funds now? Because Anson has talked about the state allocation funds, and now we're talking about the private and public sector higher education mobilization, other funds. On the role of private sector in financing higher education, UNESCO has the following position. There is the international state position on financing higher education. With respect to inputs, general consensus is that financial responsibilities should be shared by all stakeholders. More concretely, increased contributions are expected not only from the state but also from the students and their families, and from industry and business. Whoever is the beneficiary of higher education should contribute to that. Because so far, considered the state public service, no, it is no more. It has to be shared by everybody who is benefiting from it. It's UNESCO status. Now, the private sector institutions are classified in 3 types. Self-financed, non-profit private higher education. They don't make any profit, they're self-financed. You respect to note that the richest non-profit private higher education institution in the world is Vatican. The Vatican Church has the largest amount of money in their treasury. So they are the richest non-profit private higher education. They don't make any profit, but they stock their money for development and other purposes. Then state-financed private higher education is easy, and for-profit higher education. And I shall discuss them soon. I talked about the religious philanthropic foundations like Roman Catholic Church in Asia, Protestant Church in Islamic Organization in Egypt, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Pakistan. Private businesses, secular non-governmental organizations like Bill and Melinda Gates, Ford, Warren Buffett, George Soros Open University Program. In the United States, Tata, Birla, Azim Premji, and Bharati Foundations, and Maison University in India. India was lots of self-financed private higher education. Self-financed universities set up in collaboration with universities within the country. Institutions in Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh in India offered degrees by Annamalai University in Tamil Nadu. You see, the universities are collaborating with other universities and they are also self-financed. Yeah, state-financed non-profit private higher education. These are subject to government control in respect of rules and regulations. In terms of ownership, they are public corporations or constitutional entities. In several countries in Asia, like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and the Philippines, the establishment of private institutions of higher education with state support has been very common. The recurrent grant from the state meets the entire deficit in the operational expenses of the government-sponsored institutions, while government institutions receive ad hoc grants. You will find your own experiences in this context. Where do you stand in your university? And for-profit private higher education. The USA, the University of Phoenix, is the largest for-profit institution of education in the world. The UK, Australia, Japan, Malaysia, China, they're all making profit institutions in private institutions. China started in 1999. You see, China is a communist country, socialist country, And after Mao Zedong, Deng Xiaoping did not take any more, could not take any more those burdens. So they are now also making profit out of higher education and spreading the costs among the students and everybody. The law for the facilitation of private schools in China, enacted in 2002, although does not encourage making profit as the primary aim, does not exclusively prohibit them either. So another important profit higher education company in India is NIIT University. You might have also this branch in your campus. NIIT Limited in 1981, later listed on the National Stock Exchange and Bombay Stock Exchange in India. It is one of the world's largest information technology training and education company with 5 million students providing classroom and online education across 20 states in India. And it's now much more and practically around the world. This figure has gone up. Latest figure is not available. Please try to find it out from Google by yourself. There are 100 educational centers in China with this NIIT and other Pacific region in 210. USA, Canada, UK, Australia, Indonesia, all are benefiting from NIIT. So we should be proud of that. National Institute of Information Technology, NIIT. The founder was one of my friends, Mr. who worked with me for some time on our project in higher education and employment. This is discussed further in connection with the cross-border higher education also. There is also an infrastructure leasing and financial services is another for-profit higher education company with education business school net India, business school net in India. Infrastructure leasing and financial services. You lease your land, you lease your laboratory, you lease your computer facilities and all that, and charge money for that, and make profit out of it. Now, cross-border higher education and its financial implications. Financing cross-border education takes two forms, non-profit and for-profit. Now, these both types below by analysis of its impact on financing of higher education. First, let us take non-profit cross-border higher education. You know, cross-border means outside of our country. Crossing the border. Non-profit component of cross-border higher education is financed mostly by bilateral and aid called overseas development assistance, ODA. Overseas development assistance. ODA for higher education increased from US 1.34 billion in 1999 to 3.29 billion in 2004. Only 3 countries, France, Germany, and Japan, together contributed more than 80% of the total bilateral aid in 2004 for cross-border higher education. Germany has 260,000, France 238,000, and Japan had 118,000 students from abroad in 2004. These are the foreigners which are coming to study in their countries. For-profit cross-border higher education. UK, USA, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada, for which data were available, increased income from export of higher education, mainly due to relative decrease in their own government funds for it. You know, export of higher education means you bring students at home, that is, you are exporting higher education to the students who will go back to their countries. They, among many other countries, launched the business of international education in 2 ways. First, by recruiting students on full pay, free payment basis, and second, through offering programs to foreign students in their home countries through varieties of delivery modes, charging usually very high fees. In 2008, United States received $17.8 billion. Yes, $17.8 billion in income from the for-profit cross-border higher education. That means asking students to come and study in their countries. That's called, we are calling it export for.
Sir, your voice has gone low again.
Yes.
Just bring the microphone little up.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
And then can you ask him to click on this hide button because it is overlapping the text on this slide.
The text with the side?
Not the stop sharing. There is one word which is hide. Yes, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
J.
Can you get it now?
It is okay.
Okay now?
J, yes.
Oh, God, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, all right. It's okay now. So is done. Now, for-profit corporate higher education, we have talked about it. You see, one of the interesting things you should know, the country of China was most important importer with 343,000 students abroad. By India with 124,000 students abroad. Most important for-profit exporters are United States with 573,000, United Kingdom with 3,000, Australia with, yeah. You see what I mean in import and export, you have to understand the situation. We, Indians, we are importing higher education from China by sending our students back to their countries. We are sending 124,000 students abroad. China is doing the same thing, but with more than the 343,000 students. You understand the import and export here. Import means we are sending our students there. That is our importing higher education from them, and they are exporting it to us. And the beneficiaries are the receiving countries. Corporate higher education also includes publicly traded companies such as Apollo, Career Foundation Services, University of Phoenix, and Silver Learning Systems in the United States, and Informatics in Singapore, NIIT in India, Tata Infotech and Uptech in India. Corporate universities such as those run by Motorola and Toyota, they are also running universities now, and networks of universities, professional associations and organizations. Cross-border higher education, which includes publicly traded companies. Okay, next. For-profit corporate higher education has all the merits and demerits for-profit higher education discussed earlier. The additional benefit is that with proper vigilance on the terms of cooperation, importing countries can benefit from high-quality academic programs and facilities, including staff abroad. Like, India can benefit, China can benefit by importing higher education from those countries. But among the demerits, an additional demerit is the risk of erosion of national cultural identities. When you send students abroad, when they come back, they become all foreigners. So there's a lot of variances in the cultural identities. In addition to increasing the role of private sector, discussed above, financial resources are being increased cost sharing. The principle of cost sharing among the stakeholders of financing higher education is discussed below. Cost sharing. Can you see them? Small letters. Can you read them?
Yeah.
Cost sharing through parental and six forms of cost sharing through parents, parental and student contributions have been identified in public universities. Introduction, please. Introduction dual tuition track in many countries. One track is paid and others less paid for students who are differently situated. A very surprising tuition fees, IIMs, IITs in India, imposing user charges in many countries in both East and West. As long as you are taking courses, you pay for them, but you don't pay for the others. Diminution of student grants or scholarships, like India and UK among others, we are reducing student grants and scholarships. And increasing the cost recovery of student loans through outsourcing agency has been introduced in Rwanda. Student loans, it has been said that you cannot recover money, loans from them. In fact, your whole family had been one what do I say? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So they are taking advantage of that. Poorer, less poorer, it doesn't matter. So taking advantage. But now the cost recovery system has made it a little difficult for them to take advantage, illegal, unethical advantage of the situation. Effective cost sharing should meet the following conditions. Cost sharing programs should be introduced only after policies are in place for means tested financial assistance as well as generally available student loans, what I said before. Suitable procedures should be adopted to accommodate borrowers of student loans with low earnings serious financial hardships for repayments. Scarcity of financial resources has obliged the higher education system around the world to look for non-state and non-research to income-generating activities in the institutions of higher education, as it's seen in the following section. Through non-income generating activities in the institutions of higher education, you will see how we can increase non-traditional sources for funding higher education. Student fees from overseas students and self-financed students in specialized tailor-made programs. Fees from continuing education programs organized for industries and professions, especially in the areas of spiritual and social entrepreneurship programs, as in China. You see, areas of spiritual entrepreneurship. You know, these days, many institutions are introducing courses like yoga. You know, the International Yoga Day. China has taken Indian trainers for yoga lessons in China. And all over the world now, the yoga has become a basic education for many of the institutions of higher education. And now, the patents, licenses, royalties, and overheads, they are also bringing in money. Service fees from internal privatization of programs including the outsourcing, okay. Service fees for internal privatization programs, like, you know, you allow the people to use your computer center, you charge money for them. You use your laboratory for some, you take money from them. Now, income from productive industry is very much common. It was in China started in the factories of China. They bring in money, but we are also now trying to establish enterprises within the universities so that they can produce money. Income from computer services offered to business course. Income from rents offered to practicing faculty in their professions. So you see, you have got lawyers, you have got business people in your university, architects in your university. So you can allow them to practice in the university itself and inside the campus using the facilities of the campus, and then you can rent the facilities to them and charge money for that. And this is being done in many countries now because it's advantageous for the students and also for the teachers. Income from offer of technical services to industry, business and commerce, like computer services and other technical services. Income from lease of unused land and space of regulated. You know, if you travel through JNU, Jawaharlal University or prestigious university, you will see lots of areas lying vacant. Now it is less and less because many people have taken land away. And there are sometimes they are become jungles for spreading dengue and malaria and all these people. Many developing countries are facing the same problem. In Africa particularly. In India also, if we have a large campus, we have problems. As I said, JNU is one of them. Income from science parks set up on campus. Income from fee-paying distance learning programs. In China, income from non-state sources increased to 52.6% in 2008 of total government budget fund. You see, China, I am citing China very much because, very often because you see, it's an exceptional country for us because it started as a totally public financed institution of higher education, but it has now become commercial in many ways, in many directions. So we can learn from them how you can convert a public institution to a private income generating institution. They are not only giving us patents and all that, but they are also giving us how to make yourself more self-financed and more self-dependent. Now, we have talked about the financing of higher education and alternative strategies to mobilize resources both from the state and the private sectors. To meet the objectives of higher education, the resources mobilized need to be rationally allocated. Inappropriate allocation mechanisms often lead to failure to increase access, increase socio-economic disparity, increase inefficiency and irrelevance, and wastage of scarce and hard-earned financial resources. We will discuss below how the resources can be allocated to higher education to get the best results. Now, this is called effective management. Resource allocation mechanism in public higher education. There are two major types of allocation. Direct public funding of institutions and indirect funding of students. sorry. Direct, can you hear me now? Is it all right? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Okay. Now, direct funding of institutions. This is provided by the governments of countries to support the institutions to finance their instruction, operation, and investment expenses for a variety of social purposes. It also includes financing institution-based research. The countries use different approaches to do so from the public institutions, although private institutions also benefit in a few countries as described earlier. The approaches of funding, instruction, operations, and investment. These include negotiated budgets. One, your budget, you public budget, you talk about it, discuss and negotiate, and you from the state, and you come to a compromise, etc. Then you use formula funding. It's much more strict. This formula is used generally for funding allocations. Then demand side vouchers. You give a piece of paper to the students who want money, who have to be paid, or the institution lends money to the student, and the student has to give back the money later. Then the performance-based funding, that the institutions are paid funding on the basis of their performance, and funding for specific purposes. That's easy. Negotiated budgets, line item budgeting, and block grants, giving institutions more flexibility and autonomy in spending, as is observed in Netherlands and Uganda. Negotiated budgets, line item budgeting, and block grants, giving institutions more flexibility and autonomy in spending, as is observed in Netherlands and Uganda. The second approach, formula funding, is formula of various types, based on inputs such as staff and students, per student, chargeback arrangements, based on performance, based on student characteristics, equality focused. The third approach is the use of demand side vouchers which are distributed to students to meet their expenses. The fourth approach is performance-based funding, is a mechanism more elaborate than performance-based formula funding with whose government funds all or part of the current operation budget theories, performance set asides, performance contracts, and payment of results. Performance set asides, performance contracts, and payment for results. The fifth approach of funding for specific purposes is two categories: categorical funds and competitive funds, improving quality, promoting innovation, and foster better management. Indirect public funding of institutions. There are four broad mechanisms: demand side vouchers, government scholarships, tax benefits, and student models. Loan models we mentioned them below. For demand side vouchers, the students ask for some money for specific purposes, and that the government gives open, and they take money from the institution, and they pay it back later. Then government scholarships. Tax benefits to families. Families get tax benefits from paying students' fees. Student loan models for educational funds among students in higher education. About 50 countries of the world today allocate funds for higher education students through student loans. There are three types of student loans. Mortgage type, you have a land or you have a building, you mortgage them, and you get money from the receiver. Income contingent repayment types. That means income contingent. The more you earn, the more you pay back. The less you earn, you pay socially. Internally financed loans. The institution itself finances some loans so they can recover. Otherwise, they will not give you the certificate until you have paid back the money. My daughter was a victim of that. She didn't pay for that. So hard. He got the certificate from Oxford, but finally he got the mark sheet, and that was showing her qualification. Okay. She got rid of it. Different types of, I'm giving my personal examples also, but even a man like me, he also found these experiences in his own family, although my daughter did not communicate with me all the details. Different types of education mechanism of financial resources continue to achieve different objectives as has been observed in the above analysis. You also observe that countries are moving from the item negotiated budgets and input-based resource allocation to output and outcome-based resource allocation to improve internal and external efficiency. Resource allocation mechanisms are also being adapted to improve equality of access, promote lifelong learning, and facilitate expansion of higher education. The choice of particular mechanism will vary according to the socio-economic context of the country and the managerial infrastructure. We will discuss below how the managerial infrastructure can contribute to better utilization of resources, and we can do more with less, leading to financial resources. You see, doing more with less is demand from everybody now, whoever is paying us. Now, utilization of financial resources, role of effective management. Increased mobilization of financial resources and better utilization mechanisms fail to achieve the objectives of higher education if the resources are not managed effectively. The diversified stakeholders and providers of funds are all demanding effective and efficient management, and therefore demanding. The following tasks will help, with the help of available digital technology will help. We used to have the digital technology that helps us in monitoring the production and the output. Using ICT, production of financial indicators becomes the first task in proper utilization of resources discussed below. The financial indicators. These indicators are now being available for managerial purposes. What are those? I am going to details. Use the ICT with adequate monitoring in instructions, distance learning has radically changed the space requirement and reduced financial requirements without affecting quality. The Open University of the United Kingdom, University of Phoenix University, and the Indira Gandhi National Open University provide only a few examples. Have increased higher education environment massively with every reduction in cost. You know, in IIEP, where I have been working for a long time, and I'm still in touch with them, there were indicators to improve staff, time and space utilization in support, is also mentioned in income generating activities. Use of digital technology, open and distance learning, massive online open courses, books, use of artificial technology, and big data management techniques for better utilization of resources has improved efficiency tremendously. Accountability and transparency on the part of the institutions and flexibility on the part of the government. On the side of the institutions, accountability and transparency and flexibility on the part of the government are important factors to improve utilization of resources. Introduction of smart tasks is increasing quality of education while using staff and students effectively. Smart tasks means, equipped with technical help, equipped with better technology, and all artificial means.
गाड़ी तो नहीं चला रहे, घर पहुंच गए? अच्छा, ठीक है.
The efficient use of scarce financial resources, financial indicators can be used for performance measures of any activity for the evaluation of its achievement and take corrective measures if necessary. Periodical internal auditing is needed to check on the proper use of funds and identify any misuse before submission of accounts for external auditors for public use.
गाड़ी चला रहा था और ये
Production of funds from fraud. IIP has worked extensively on corruption. The corruption in our society is invading the financial world of education institutions.
तो इतना भयंकर
We
इम्पैक्ट
know
था कि
all of us now today is the corruption has become one important priority.
टायर फट गया,
How to control it. The auditing exercises mentioned above will reduce misuse of extra but extra because of needed in reducing the power of the users of funds for multiple checks. Non-executive strategies reinforcing those recorded in the international education policy is being suggested for international, national, and institutional level mobilization of financial resources to transform private and public sector of higher education. To provide India-centered education which contribute directly to transforming our national source sustainably and inclusive and public quality. International studies increase scope of cooperation in academic programs. International studies increase scope of cooperation in academic programs. Greater coordination of bilateral and multilateral aid agencies. Increase accountability and transparency of both donors and recipients, especially in respect of procurement of distribution. Prepares for long-term comprehensive support by major donors and philanthropists to make higher education projects successful. Strategies of effective international aid.
8:35.
Yeah.
ठीक है, तो मैं आपको 8:30 बजे
interest of performance-based program funding projects, peer review funding projects, interest of income for contingent and mortgage type student loans, interest of norms for use of resources of all kinds and allowance for flexibility in social utilization.
लोकेशन डिसाइड
That's all
करो
strategies. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, Didi, do you have any time for
Bikas, thank you very much for an elaborate presentation on this aspect. You have covered a lot of ground in this area. Particularly, you looked into the background within which resources to be mobilized or funds to be mobilized. Then you discuss about the various models of mobilizing funds, public, private, for profit, not for profit. In fact, for profit also you shared your international experience on this aspect, which is very important. Then you moved on to various other dimensions of mobilization of funds for the different purposes and different method. And interestingly, you shared the kind of international funding that takes place, which I call external funding of education by the, I have written a paper on external funding of higher education in countries, in India particularly. Then you shared of the loan method. Today's newspaper says 79,000 crore have been given as a loan for education purpose, and out of that 8% is NPA. About 6,000 crore is NPA. So education loan aspect also you covered, that is one of the areas through which funding is being done. Very interestingly, you covered the aspects of how efficiency can result in mobilizing more funds, that is utilization of funds. It means that there are savings can help you to mobilize, keep your more resources in your kitty. That's very important aspect. So external funding, efficient utilization of resources, and the models of financing which has emerged in the country, various countries have been shared by you. I think you have covered a very, very large ground in this area, and with the international experience in terms of how it's happening in China. China, I call it a state capitalism. It is not a socialism. It's a state capitalism. And from state capitalism, they are doing all those things. And they say, therefore, they become very close to America in many ways. So that's the kind of a situation which you find in China. And China and UK are very shrewdly mobilizing funds from the students coming to their place. In USA, the student figure has gone up, and that they are able to mobilize funds for their own resources. UK student figure has gone up, where the China student figure is going down. So that's the kind of where India is not getting that kind of exporting education. You import export. You also use the word import export of education. So these are all dimensions which you have covered in this, and that has been a very elaborate one. Of course, there is some problem of mic which is there, but your presentation in terms of the PowerPoint is very clear. One thing I want to share with all the participants, Bikas has been working for last 3-4 days on this subject. Yesterday I was very much panicky that whether Bikas would be able to make presentation. So you might have found that when I mentioned that Dr. Bikas Sanyal and GD Sharma would be making a presentation, I say if Bikas is not able to come, then I'll be able to do. But in the morning, I got a message from him that I have prepared, and his assistant told me we have been preparing for 3-4 days on this, but we couldn't connect you. Thank you, Bikas, because a teacher is always a serious one who always works very seriously before he comes to the talk to people or deliver something. Munish Raja used to tell me that when a teacher goes to teach, he has to undergo a kind of a labor pain because he has to think about it, work about it, and then he goes for a teacher delivery. So that is where the point you have prepared yourself well. The mic may be a problem.
Yes.
Age is also our problem. Let's be very honest about it. But the experience is a kind of a strength with us, and that experience you said. Let me keep the forum open for discussion with all the participants, and I'll invite people because Manoj, this is an area I would like you to make a kind of a intensive paper, extended paper on this aspect, mobilization of on model financing of higher education. You have seen what Atul shared. You have seen what our earlier Furqan has shared, the practical experience happening.
Yes.
He also talked about the income generation, and Furqan has told you income generation is being taxed. So all those issues are there. And now this detailed one is before you. We'll have one more session on 24th, which will be sharing many other things. So that is with these words, I would say that you should also start working on a detailed paper on financing as happening in the world and as being seen in India. So, Manoj, I'll just like to give you this task.
Okay, sir, I am taking this task and I will present it.
Okay. Now let me keep the forum open for question and answer.
Didi, I wanted to thank my assistant, Shabda, who has helped me in developing this PowerPoint and all that. I am completely ignorant of all these technical things.
Your mic again has gone out of your mouth. Yeah.
So, but he has been very helpful for this. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bikas. Thank you. Let's have some questions for 5 minutes, and then we'll start discussing. Break for 10 minutes. Let's have a question for 5 or 10 minutes. Yes, go ahead. Yeah. Yes, Manoj.
So, first of all, I thank Professor Sanyal for his beautiful presentation. Practically, we all, I believe, learned a lot regarding the problems associated with finance in higher education and its solutions, and what are the different sources and how finance can be managed. And in the way of managing or mobilizing fund, one of the source is exporting higher education to other countries. But as Sanyal sir said, that very often and usually India is importing higher education and other countries are exporting. For example, large number of students for higher studies, they are going abroad for studies. But we are not in a position to attract foreign students for our higher educational institutes. So how this aspect can be resolved, I would like to know from Sanyal sir.
Very good.
What are the policies that the government as well as higher educational institutions should take so that the overseas students are attracted to our institutes for study? Sir, please.
Very good. Any other question we like to have?
Okay. I can answer this.
Let's have one more question.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, Osman.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, I thank Sanyal sir for a detailed analysis of this. So I have 3 questions, but anyway, the first one is related to the UNESCO's approach itself. Sir, you said that UNESCO want to share the finance of higher education by all the stakeholders. You have given the details of that by all the stakeholders. Is there any methodology suggested by UNESCO or any formula suggested by UNESCO for sharing the resources for higher education by stakeholders?
Very important question. Yes.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Any more?
Okay. These are 2 questions. And then, Usman, you have another question?
My second question is related to the state-sponsored profit higher education. So you had given the financing of higher education different models. And one model that you discussed is the state-sponsored profit higher education. So why should the state take up that for profit, higher education for profit?
Yes.
Why such a model is becoming relevant?
Very good question.
I
started with this one.
Okay, next question. 3 questions.
One more question, sir.
Yeah.
You have mentioned about the indirect funding for higher education. Indirect funding. So in indirect funding, what is the feasibility of a cess for higher education? Cess, CESS. For example, we have cess for several things. Cess for the construction of the roads, cess for special purposes. What about a cess for higher education? Can we think of a cess for higher education?
Okay. Thank you. Because one by one you can take it. First is Manoj's thing that how can we increase the students coming to India? What are the policies? What are the strategies we should adopt? Then we come to Osman's questions.
Practically in from our area, students are moving even to Bangladesh, as well as Nepal. But the students from Nepal or Bangladesh are not coming to study in our area. So this is the tragedy.
Very unfortunate.
But you want to become the Vishwaguru with this kind of thing.
First thing is that
exactly. In one hand, we are talking about to be Vishwaguru, and our students are moving outside the country.
Yeah. Can you go friends?
Okay. Yeah, tell me, because go ahead.
Friends, listen. You know that how many unfortunate situations I have talked to you about. We are below Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Nepal in respect of human development indicator. We have not studied them. If we had known all these facts before in time, we could take better actions. You see, I can see the 5G and all these things are trying to improve the situation. Anyway, but I'm going to the problems first. First thing is that our mechanism for publicity is very poor. Our marketing mechanism is very poor in higher education particularly. We have not been able to market our higher education. Our higher education is very good in many ways. But we are not publishing them in the Nepal institutions of higher education, Bangladesh, but it's not that true. I think Bangladesh is taking many professors from us, and Nepal also. But in any case, it's a question that should be answered. But on the other hand, why are we not attracting many African students here? You see, I was 40 years ago, I was living here on the campus. You see, the African students, we are still not, unfortunately I should say, we have not yet learned how to behave. Our civilization is very, very poor in socializing with people from African continent. We have looked them down, and we are still not yet coming to justice. They are coming up.
Sir, again, please adjust your mic, please.
Oh yes, please. Yeah, okay. You know, we are not looking at the Africans as we should, because they are really coming up now, and we should really encourage them. We should really cooperate with them. We should really become respectful towards them. Well, let us develop a respect for all other countries, all other citizens. Africa has a very good area where we can use our higher education very effectively. Now, first thing is market mechanism should be improved. Our publicity mechanism should be better, and then we should also send some examples that we have done, what are doing, what are results, publicize. Okay. Now, and also we have to change our attitude. We have to change our attitudes, cultural attitudes towards Africans particularly, because they are very sensitive people. They are very hard if we do not respect them properly. This is a very important point we must take into mind. Okay. First, the second point is that for this one was the state sponsored thing. What is the other question? UNESCO's
approach on sharing of the resources for higher education. Yes, sir.
UNESCO is asking for resources to mobilize from different stakeholders who are taking the benefit of it. You see?
Yeah, go ahead. UNESCO, how they want the stakeholders to contribute, all stakeholders. I remember last time when you had a UNESCO meeting now you are having for higher education. Earlier, 10 years back, you had that higher education summit of various countries, and then France said the state should continue to contribute to the higher education.
Yeah.
And at that time, there was a debate that whether state should contribute or state should withdraw from higher education. France and many of the countries said the state should continue to provide higher education.
State cannot avoid contribute to higher education. The state is the largest stakeholder because they are the beneficiary. The state is the beneficiary of higher education. They cannot divert themselves, withdraw from that. They have to contribute, but then other stakeholders who are the beneficiaries, the parents, the students, the institutions, the enterprises, all the other whoever
should be missing. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
So what are other stakeholders' contribution you expect?
Businesses, enterprises, and parents, and parents particularly, and their relatives, and also industry business. I have told you. Yes. Yeah.
You remember you didn't share with them one of the person Pulotov who came from Tajikistan in our conference. He said, we are selling the engineers. I said, how come you are selling the engineers? He said, we know how much money we have spent on an engineer, training an engineer, and that amount is there. And the whosoever is employing, we tell them that you pay this money in this form. So that kind of a approach was also adopted by Tajikistan. Pulotov, who was vice chancellor of that university, told in the meeting which we had, you were also there. So anyway, these are different ways of stakeholder is a state, major stakeholder is a state, other stakeholder is another stakeholder is employer, that is industry. Third stakeholder is the society, which is in large benefiting out of the higher education and research. And globally, I think fourth stakeholder is global. I call it a global good. It's not an individual good. The country is good, but it's a global good. What I do, I get serve all the one. So these are stakeholders we are having. Now, because it is already 8:02, what else? We break for 10 minutes. Shall we break for 10 minutes and reassemble and then take few other questions?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Sarmaji.
Okay, friends, please let's have a little break and then be back by around 8:10 or 8:15.
So, because you can have a cup of coffee and then be fresh.
Let us come back at 8:15 then, because it is already
8:15. We'll be back at 8:15.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So, sir, you have already given reply to my question.
Okay. Gigi, what else is remaining for me to answer?
My second question, sir. My second question.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So, shall we start, sir?
Yes.
Sharma, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
My second question was related to the financing, the modes of financing of higher education. So you had mentioned about the non-profit higher education, state-financed private higher education, and also profit for higher education, state-sponsored profit for higher education. So I am sharing my concern rather than a question, actually. Why should the state try to make profit out of higher education?
Okay, now.
Why we should at all have such a system?
It's a terminological problem. State is making any profit. In fact, subsidizing, state is reducing its contribution by the amount of money just plus. It's simply towards for profit by surplus. If they save some money out of it, then they will reduce the contribution to the institution for funding. It's just only different. It's a terminological. It's a definition of use of terminology. I'm using it for profit, but it's really not for profit. State doesn't make any profit out of it. The state only reduces its contribution to the institution because state is the main stakeholder, and they will be paying less now or reduce the contribution of what they're making last time.
Sir, in that case, suppose in the case of an institution sponsored by the state, suppose we make a financial analysis of that, for example, a break-even analysis, something like that, and suppose state just examine the viability of each and every higher education institution, what will happen, sir? Because, for example, a college, a government college, for example, a government college, can the government think of the financial viability of a government college? Yes, in a rural area, for example. Such an approach, I think such an approach is not good for a country like India.
No. My point is that the state cannot, will not pay some institution money, but the money is not needed because there is a surplus money, so that's why they are not making any profit. They are not making, reducing their contribution accordingly because the institution is spending less. Otherwise, if there is a control over that, then the institution is going on spending money, while the money is scarce in the country as a whole. That's the point. So for profit, you should not, the profit is not reward. Misuse or misuse of the government fund, which is already scarce in the country.
Yes, okay.
That's the idea.
Okay, sir. Now, third question was...
Yes,
sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Usman.
Yes, sir. My third query was related to the possibility of a cess for financing higher education. Cess, for example. So we have cess and taxation.
We say cess in education was there, but cess in higher education finance is not. The cess on education was there, but unfortunately, the amount which were mobilized from the cess from education was not transferred to the education. That's the unfortunate part of the story. But that cess can be considered. One of the things which you asked that how state can, the college in rural areas can be made viable. There was a long back, about 30, 40 years back, analysis of non-viable colleges in Gujarat and many of the states because enrollment figure was very less.
Yes.
There was one possibility that you provide hostels, etc. People can come and stay and then provide the facilities. But you have to subsidize such colleges because they are serving a larger cause of accessibility and equity, which we call equity in access. That is a very important part of it. So that is required. Even if it is non-viable, that has to be sustained for the cause of equity, for the cause of providing education to the people. So, but that is compensated by elsewhere, by getting one. So point which is compensated in terms of getting people educated and then serving the society. One of the years back, our doctors are migrating to UK, USA, and then IIT graduates are migrating to all this. On every doctor, we used to spend 1 crore or so. On every engineer, we used to spend over 1 crore or so. When they go, that capital is gone. I said that my capital has gone to other country. Equivalent to that, I should get back, or at least some percentage of it should be returned back in a kind of payment which is made to the society. It is not what they earn and they send. That's a different story. What is important, if investment has gone from our side, they are earning there, that investment should be returned over a period of time so that our money, the education gets the back. And this I recommended about almost 30 or 40 years back. But, there is Rajiv Gandhi used to be there. Then he said, no, they are going, so that is it's not a brain drain, it's a brain bank. I said, brain bank is for them, not for us. Many people have not a very clear idea.
You're right.
Yes.
Okay.
From scholarship to everything. And now industry is employing. So they told industry that you give us money for employing. That is why the same way, if migrating professionals, they are serving other countries, they are earning, but they should return money so that our system gets the resources back and they can pay. But that is not being thought about it, still not. It requires a lot of thinking on this. Okay, next, what was the third question?
Already, SES, you already answered, sir. You already answered.
SES is, they tried it, but it has to be honesty of purpose, I often call it. If you have a SES, that should be distributed to the education processes, and that would help. Ultimately, what gains in the society is the educated people, and they would contribute to development. It has happened all over the world, whether one likes or not. When we committed 6%, and if we don't spend 6%, then only our bad economics. I said the other day that we are having a bad economics because number of sons going abroad, they are spending more than what we spend on higher education in the country.
Yes.
Amount of money which is going abroad for the sake of students going out. I say if 1.5 million students are studying abroad, and assume 20 lakhs per student, how much money we are sending outside. So that's a bad economics. So what one has to really think about creating facilities. That's why they thought of 6%. 6% means public would create all those facilities for the purpose of education, not only for all, for importing, for exporting also. Because earlier these people used to come, I remember when I was doing research, we used to have students from Nepal, we used to students from Bangladesh, we had a student from various other countries. But over a period of time, we have not announced. Bombay University made a special hostel for the international students, and so that attracted students for that purpose. But it has to have that kind of then employability. Today they are talking of employability, that you increase the 2 years of visa further for employability serving them. So it has to have a possibility of recovering what they spend on education within the country, so that because these are Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, they are the countries.
You got foreign assistance or overseas development assistance, that's fine. Bangladesh people, but for these countries,
Money and to go. So that is another area of attracting the student.
reinforces the idea of student loan. Go outside of the country. When they go outside of the country, in fact, the student loan reinforces this. You take a loan, it's a provisional loan. If you serve within the country, then the loan will be income contingent. And if you go abroad, then you have to pay back with time the amount of money that the country has spent on you. So it's an easier approach to monitor the student loans. Just use reinforcement of student loans. On the other, you countries like Bangladesh, any African poor country and all that, then you make an overseas development assistance.
Yeah, for them.
Okay, thank you.
That's correct. That's correct. I think when they are going to serve the developing countries, you don't have to ask them. But they are developing. Most of them are not going there. Most of them are going to USA. All IIT graduates are going to USA. As soon as they complete BTech, they are running to the USA. And therefore, they are earning a substantial. They should give back so that other IIT students can get the education with less price. Today, their IIT started charging almost 5 times of what our time the people used to pay. Similarly, IMS started charging them. So, in fact, money has not come back. Otherwise, charges would have been less. Anyway, next question. Gogoi was raising the question hand. Gogoi?
Yes, sir. I joined late today due to certain difficulties.
You, Dr. Budin Gogoi. Oh my God, I see you now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I have a concern, and I would like to tabulate one concern of this one, especially. Sir is a link. Our channel, sir, is a link between Western education world to India. Still, she is working both in India and as well as UNESCO in the Western country. So my question is supplementary to Dr. Manoj Kumar Pal. Even Bangladesh, sir, recently I visited Bangladesh, Dhaka University, as I am working as a Director International Center for Academic and Cultural Exchange of USA University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya, and I represented India to Dhaka University, and I wanted to bring some students from Dhaka, means Bangladesh, to Northeast. But they put me one question: why should we go to India? What you are having? You please clearly tell me. That is the question.
Yeah, yeah.
They especially ask me why our students should go to India. Your quality, that is main question. That is why my question is supplementary to Manoj Kumar Pal. So that is my own experience. So now my question is, sir, why we could not improve in spite of our national assessment and accreditation policies. National Assessment and Accreditation Council recently declared that they are going to vanish the process. The accreditation process for quality improvement in Indian higher education system has become corrupted. The system is not working well. University and colleges are bribing. They are hiring. University and colleges are hiring people to increase grades. So that is the situation in higher education, sir, in India. So my question is to Sanyal sir, how we can overcome such situation? Not to speak of Western countries, but even we could not drag. That is my experience. Recently, sir, in month of August, I have also visited two universities in Thailand. I targeted Thailand under the Lukis policy and Akis policy, and I visited Mahidol University and discussed with them. They also put the same question: what is your quality higher education? So, how to overcome such difficulties, sir? That is my question to Sanyal sir, because you are really exposed to the last 4 decades in the most qualified higher education system in the world. That is Western world, sir. That is my question.
Manoj has also raised the hand, but let him answer this question. Manoj, would you like to ask before? Yeah.
This is relating to Dr. Gogoi's question. So the thing is that whenever we are talking about inviting foreign students, the first question comes as Dr. Gogoi has mentioned, that what is in India. But to speak frankly, almost all economists of the top-rated economists are from India. Large number of doctors, numerous engineers, they are working abroad because they are better in quality. So regarding quality of higher education, there should not be any question. The Indian higher education system is rich enough and able enough to compete with any other country. But in spite of that, perhaps because of only the adequate infrastructural facilities and attractive advertisement, as Professor Sanyal has mentioned, because of our lack of stress on marketing our education as a product in international level, perhaps this is one of the reasons we are not able to attract foreign students to our higher educational institutes. This is my
very good point. Dr. Bhauri, would you like to say? She is running a self-financing institution.
Okay.
Just a minute. Dr. Bhauri?
Yes. Dr. Bhauri is just not there. Okay. Now, just one more point, Dr. Budhi's question. You see, there is now the universities are being ranked around the world. The Indian universities should be participating in those rankings. In fact, today we got the list of the rankings of IIMs and IITs and all this, and many of our institutions are in the top level in many cases. Those have to be publicized. The marketing is very important. In the marketing, we should mention about what are the quality side. That these are our position, ranking position in the world in the sort of our higher education in different disciplines. The marketing is very weak from our side. So quality, there is quality, good quality education surely, but there are also bad quality. They say, but we should provide the good quality education so that they can come to the good quality education systems. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That's all. Dr. Bari is not here. What happened? So, Muhammad Ali wanted to speak something. Raise your hand. Dr. Muhammad Ali. Okay, gone.
Yes, sir.
So yes, if you
Sir, basically, sir, I think the problem is that the finance only, sir, for quality
okay.
in our country, sir. Suppose we have more allotment for the higher education, then to certain extent, the access and quality can be enhanced, sir. Basic problem is that of finance only.
Yeah. Finance audit, you say?
Yeah.
Basic lack of.
Yeah, that only, sir. Lack of funds only, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Mainly
Oh, yeah.
because even most of the vacancies in the universities and colleges are not filled. So,
Do you try? Yeah, you want Mohammed Ali? Yes.
yes, sir. Teaching vacancies are also, I think, mostly not filled, and infrastructure facilities also. So, basically, sir, finance is the major issue of our country, sir, I think.
So there is another point which, because I would like to share you, other day there was a meeting in Delhi where the chairman of UGC was also there, and many private institutions were there. They asked why there is a limit of 15% quota. These are all professional education institutions. And I said that if you have space, if you have facility, etc., why should the limit of 15% should be there? But somehow the UGC has the feeling that we have to provide education to our own people. But I think the quota business of 15% has to be reconsidered. Where the facilities are there, they can engage people for that purpose. So, but before that, Dr. Bhavani, can you connect it? Are you able to connect?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let her, Potter. Yeah, tell her.
We are from Northeast India. We may start some professional courses, but manpower is not there. Technical know-how for subject, I mean, teachers, we can't find out here, especially if it is like architectural.
Yes.
If suppose I want to start architecture, Institute of Architecture, we do not have teachers this side.
Okay.
Can we get any goal?
No, but you can have it teachers from any part of the country. There is no problem. Only they would be asking you about two facilities. One is the residential facilities, other is the education facility for the children. Luckily, you have very good education facility within the Northeast and particularly Shillong. But yes, but the staying facility has to be and the money equivalent to what they get it elsewhere. That is otherwise they are able to move in anywhere. Architect education quite a good. Only sometimes those are practicing architect, they don't come because they are earning a substantial amount, like practicing lawyer, practicing this thing. But yes, there are teachers oriented. They do join. They can come, and you can think about this aspect. This is one is architect, other is designing. That is becoming a very important area of self-financing as other institutions.
Indeed, my point is that it's not only the question. The question is also that, again, you have to market your demands the whole part of India. There are people who are looking for jobs in the proper places, but you have to give some incentives to attract the people. At this time, I tell you, for Northeast region, just now, to follow the media, you see lots of incentives are being provided in the Northeastern region. A lot of emphasis is going on to Assam, Tripura, and all those areas. Because the Northeastern region has suffered a lot, has been deprived of many of the benefits of development of the whole country. And particularly my own state was not really behaving properly with the Northeastern. Now they have all been very conscious. So that's another thing also, that they have to be given proper facilities, and I'm sure things will change now. But it has to be given a lot of publicity that we are lacking in such and such facilities. Please go ahead and take to the media. Take the views of the media. Thank you.
Thank you. Katoz, Mohammed Ali has raised a question at the hand. Mohammed Ali, you have another question?
Any more question?
No, sir. No, sir. Thank you, sir.
No. Okay. Katoz, would you like to raise some question? Abhimanyu?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
No question. Oh, any other question if you have? Okay, if there are no questions, then we'll discuss for some time about our next program, which we are going to launch from in Delhi, or that is contact program. We can have some discussion, some questions from you, and then we'll try to work it out. So, Bikas, thank you for discussing so in such details and answering some of the questions which are very important. Now I'm inviting people to speak about the contact program which we are going. Some questions if you have, otherwise I'll share with them the kind of program which we are launching on 19, 20, 21st. That was a 3 days contact program we have scheduled. We have already booked the hall in the India Habitat Center. Now I am going to also write to NEPA or some institution to arrange for some accumulation of our IDEL participants. At least rest we'll try to have from other people. So I invite some kind of questions from the participants.
What's the subject? What is the subject of the meeting?
Yeah, contact program. That is the program, the 19, 20, 21st in Delhi.
On what? On what topic?
On the leadership for reforms in higher education.
Okay, all right. Not space now. Space is not now. No. Space management is not coming now. Space management is not coming now, right now, is it?
And outcome-based learning and ABC, that is academic bank of credit, which is a now requirement. Second, we are taking the institutional development plan, which is every university institution will be asked to do that. Third, we are taken about the issues in financing for implementing reform. Fourth, we are taking for full day technology use for in education, AI, blockchain, and the Internet of Things, and the new EdTech which has come in the system. So that is the 3 days program which we are having. So this is where the program is. Now I invite you to raise questions.
Okay. Now you go ahead. I have to now.
Okay, because you can release. You can take off.
Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. The duration will be how, sir? The day's proceedings will be how, sir? Like starting at 9 o'clock to forenoon session and afternoon session, that way, sir?
Yes, we are starting at 10 o'clock, and there will be 2 sessions in the morning. Some noise is coming. Okay, we'll be starting morning 10 o'clock, and there will be 2 sessions in the morning, 1 session in the afternoon, and then 1 session is completely devoted to IDEL participants to discuss their project, discuss their which they are planning to do about the research and kind of dissertation which you are required to prepare at the end of the program. And we'll also discuss about the possibility. I told Bikas today that we have to work out the possibility of international program, the summer school in Paris or some other places. That also we'll discuss. But basically, we'll discuss about these 3 areas. One area is the multidisciplinarity, outcome-based education, and ABC and National Qualification Framework. This is one package which is you are having. Second package is an institutional development plan, which is a requirement, and we had a detailed discussion. We are going to see and how to go about implementing and doing this thing. Third is we are going to have a full day discussion on IT. Thank you. Or 24. Not for him, for somebody else who will be talking on. So I would suggest that these are 3 basic topics we have kept it. We have kept it open for all the people. You can request some of your friends there within the state. They can also join. Usman, your mic is on. Yeah. So
yes.
yes. So what
I heard, sir.
just a minute. So what we are going to, these 3 sessions would be there, 3 days, and 1 hour we are given exclusively for this. I'm trying to book a room for the accommodation in Nipa guest house, but let us see how we go about it. But now I'm open for questions now.
Okay, sir. Sir, I had sent a mail to see an inquiry whether the registration fee is applicable to the participants of the International Diploma Program. I hope that it is not there. Is there any registration fee?
Yeah, no, there is registration fee of 9,900 for those who are not ideally participant, those who are joining there. For ideally participant, we have kept only 4,000 or half of because the academic cost has to be borne by us, and the rest of the cost has to be borne by. It is from that point of view we kept it half of what we are charging other people. Other people we are charging academic cost plus other costs which are also. So that's why we kept out 9,900 for that, and for academic ideally participant it is only 4,000 or half of the 9,000, whatever it comes to be. If that is okay, or if you have difficulty, you would let me know.
No, sir, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
But,
It's okay, sir.
I need accommodation, sir. I need accommodation.
No, I'm trying to have accommodation in Nipa guest house or NCRT guest house, which is a very secured area. And if it doesn't work out, then last time when we had a conference, I can speak to hotel. That hotel is a reasonable priced hotel. Last time you stayed in that hotel near the Gitanjali Enclave, which is also fairly good place. So first I'm trying in Nipa guest house and NCRT guest house. Already we talked to people. I'll be sending a mail to them, and that is a reasonable, very reasonable, reasonably priced, and that is also central to the location. Location is hardly 15-20 minutes away from the Nipa. That is India Habitat Center. Last time some of you stayed there.
Yes,
so
sir.
that is the case.
So I have already booked the ticket.
You should all book the ticket in advance. You will get the cheaper rate ticket. Otherwise, the ticket would be very costly.
Okay, sir. Myself and Dr. Mohammed Ali, we are booking together.
Okay.
Okay, we are expecting to reach there on 18th, I think, Sunday.
Yeah, all of us, you have to reach on 18th, because morning at 10 o'clock we are starting. So you have to reach
I will also reach on 18th.
Most of you have to reach on 18th.
Return on 22nd.
Okay.
Okay. Same is our plan also. Same is our plan.
That's your plan. Okay. What about Dr. Bowry and Bivan?
So I haven't booked the ticket as yet.
Yeah.
I'll just have a talk with Father Vivan and then let you know, sir.
Okay. Because we have changed the date only for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we expect all the participants, ideally participants, to join, but you can also request some of your colleagues in the region, those who can afford to come for 3 days. It is going to face-to-face, the in-person program, and we are an eminent person talking to you on the subject, and you will have a discussion on how to go about preparing the project report.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, Mohammed Ali, you had some question?
Yes, sir. It is clear, sir. It is clear, and by 18th, sir, will be
18th. Katoch, what about? And then you can also talk to Usman, and you can talk to your other colleague if they are interested.
Yes,
they
sir.
can also join you.
Okay, sir.
It's not heavily priced. It is just recovering the cost.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Spend there. Yes, Katoch, Abhimanyu.
Sure.
Yes, sir. I will be there, sir, on 9th. I will reach there, sir.
Your voice is not coming clearly.
I will reach on 19th, sir.
Acha, you can, from Jammu, you can come early morning, so there is no. But yes, you have to reach before 10 o'clock. And then you let me know where are you staying.
Sir,
Yeah? staying there?
I will be there on 18th. I'll come.
Oh,
join on 19th.
okay. What about Purabi? Gogoi, where is the Gogoi has gone somewhere? Budin?
Yes,
What
I am
about
here, sir.
Purabi and other people? And you can ask other
Purabi-
people to join for few, because this is a 3 days program, face-to-face program.
Yes, sir. I have informed 10 principals
Okay.
already. They have not confirmed, but Purabi is confirmed. Purabi will go there.
Okay.
Okay.
So you ask them to, those who want to book, they should book in time and inform us, so that we know how many persons are there, and we accordingly arrange for the accommodation and other aspects, request for arranging accommodation and other aspects. Yeah, ideally ideally person will try to arrange for, if space is there, we can accommodate other people also. Any other question if you have? Mohammed Ali, you raised the hands.
So that day you told regarding the autonomy of the college, also there will be a session like that.
Yeah, we had kept on the autonomy of the college, but we can have a discussion on that how to go about autonomy of the college, because which is also very important. In course of time, you become a degree granting colleges, which is a future of by 2030. That is what the plan is. So one can think about incorporating one of the session or some discussion on that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question if you have? Gogoi, what is the situation in Assam and your other people?
Sir,
What happened to our DHSK Sakya? Is he quiet, or what happened to Sakya?
Sasikant Sakya is busy in some other work.
Okay.
He may join, but not confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Because he is saying that he has already got the degree international diploma, but for additional updating he is joining. There is why he may join, but he is interested to go abroad. Particularly if we arrange to go to Paris or other countries, that is why he is joining. Otherwise, he is a very busy person, sir.
Okay, but how about other people who in that area?
I have informed yesterday and day before yesterday 10 principals of Upper Assam.
Okay.
And I am informing them about the contact program. Tomorrow I will try to confirm them whether they are joining or not.
Abhimanyu, you can also talk to the principals in your area for 3 days face-to-face in-person.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Sure, sir. I'll do that.
Manoj, you can also talk to the people, because we'll be having limited number of seats. After that, we'll have maximum 20, and it should be around 15 to 16. That is what we are planning. Out of your 8 or the other people would be another 9 or so will take it.
I have talked about the program with other principals.
Yeah.
But they said that they will inform me, but they have not yet informed. Okay. And particularly in my area, there are only 4 colleges. So I have, including me. So I have talked with the other 3 principals. Okay. Let me see whether if they inform me. Obviously, I will guide them what to do and everything.
Okay. As we are sending letters to the Vice Chancellor today for the nominating one of their deans for this program, and let us see how many of them respond. And then, but in any case, we are not going to have more than 20 as we had last time. Gogoi had joined 3-4 days program. And
I also joined there, sir. Last time.
Okay. Any other question or any clarification if you like to have?
Sir, I have some views regarding the financial management, financial mobilization, or financial finance management or fundraising related issue.
So what I
particularly, sir, all principals as well as even the vice chancellors who are the decision makers, they are mostly coming from academic area, academic field, and suddenly they are entrusted the administrative as well as decision making capacity, decision making role. So under that situation, it is very difficult sometimes. We also, when I joined as a principal, I didn't have any idea regarding the rules and regulations, regarding the financial management, regarding the procedures what are to be followed. So as a result of that, we are in most of the cases become exploited by the office people.
Yeah.
So in this regard, I think that the government as well as even we can give some idea or suggestion to the policymakers that prior to giving appointment or even after appointment, some kind of basic orientation regarding the process, regarding the financial management, financial rules, etc. are to be given to the principals or anybody who is appointed at the decision-making capacities or decision-making role. This aspect is to be highlighted, sir.
Yeah, you're very right. Finance as well as administrative part. Administrative part is managing the staff, recruiting the staff, and other things.
And different rules, service rules, financial rules,
etc. They can be considered. What I would say, I'll request you to do two things. One is prepare a portfolio for the financing, which we are discussing here in detail about it, various dimensions, various aspects, etc. Taking note of what has been transacted, what is available on your LMS, and then prepare a big portfolio, if not small portfolio or a paper, detailed paper. Second is that prepare a proposal, what you talked about, that there should be a 2 to 3 days of a week orientation program for the freshly recruited persons in the area of financing rules, administrative rules, and interpersonal issues, which are very important for the purpose of this. So that orientation program, which you can send it to Assam government, Gogo is also interested in that area. So that could be one of the. Usman has been working in this area, so it can be his experience, other people's experience can be given a 3 days or 4 days program for newly appointed or newly joining the people in this. Is it okay?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Okay. Sharmaji, I think this is your time. Another 10 minutes are there, 7 minutes are there. So you have recorded all those things, and you can speak, and you can tell how many recordings things are already be given. Now you can share your contribution and the work which you are doing for this purpose.
Okay, friends. First of all, I think you must have noted that on our learning management system, we have posted all the videos of all the programs. One was on 27th of October. That has also been posted. It is actually in two parts, part 1 and part 2, means before the break and after the break, so that you can keep accessing. And I suggest that keep interacting with the content there, so that if you think that there is any item which need to be provided to you in terms of so just let us know the topic. There are many open access resources also available, so we can search them, because there will be no copyright issue with them. So we can also, because that will add to the value to the course, the content which is already present into that. So this is there, and no, you are muted. So So I think then we can.
Till you raise the hand, you have questions or you just is the old one?
No, there is no hand raised now. So okay, friends, thank you very much. Take care. Have a nice evening. And
Okay.
see you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Udin. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Auri.